Hi, Pam. How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
I am so excited for this Zoom interview conversation because we are introducing the new upcoming podcast that we're doing called WEBCAM Confidence for Women. Now, for full disclosure, before we got on to do this formal recorded interview, Pam and I were just talking about the exact topic, which is how we came to be doing the podcast in the first place. We talk about this all the time. This is our topic of conversation, webcam confidence. How do you feel confident on webcam? How does it feel to you? What do you do? How do you look? All of these things. And so I'm kind of laughing, Pam, because we were actually literally just having that conversation. So
Mhm.
first of all, I want to say, Pam, thank you so much for taking the time. I know how busy you are with your business, Volution, virtual services. You support people like me in online production and event production and that kind of thing. So it's so good to see you. Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you.
All right, so let's just reveal what it was that we were just talking about, because this is the topic of our podcast, and we can even help people right in this brief wisdom sharing interview. So
Yes.
we got on our call, and I was not ready for our call because I was busy. And so we've been working together for a long time. I'm like, hold on, Pam, I got to go get my screen. And so I got my screen and I set it up. And what did you say?
I said, I love your screen. I said, I really would like to get one. And then we were talking about virtual backgrounds.
And what did you just tell me about virtual backgrounds?
Well, yeah, you had mentioned you don't like them, and I totally agreed. I personally would prefer to look at somebody's background as long as it's not distracting. I just feel like there's so much disconnect when you are virtual that just adds more disconnect because they really never look totally great. Sometimes they look okay, but they never look totally great. You can always kind of tell. So I would prefer just to see somebody's real background, or even a screen like that I think is fine. And that just makes me feel more connected. That's just me personally. It makes me feel more connected to that person.
Yeah. So you said, I would consider that, I'm looking at my notes, I would consider that a best practice tip when we
Right.
started talking about
Just
virtual
adding that
backgrounds.
as a tip. Yeah. After I
Exactly.
had
So
thought about it, after we
oh,
were talking about it.
exactly. I'm like, oh, there's our first tip that we're going to be able to share, because in
True.
our
True.
podcast, there's going to be tips, tools, strategies, and there will be bloopers. And so, one of the
Stories.
things, I totally agree with you on this idea of the virtual background, Pam. I honestly have to be careful, but I really don't like them. First of all, for myself, I always have that pixelating thing going on. You go in and out, and if I use my hands, as you know, in my speaking, and the minute you
I do
start to
too.
move, you get this weird thing going on, like you're having an out of body experience. If you sit straight and very quiet, then and not moving, so that you get that nice clean outline in the virtual background, then it feels
Yeah.
a little robotic. You don't have any energy, you don't have any movement. And like you said, you're already disconnected by the virtual nature of the call or the
Yeah.
experience. And we want to really help people feel as connected as possible with you. So I really feel like that
Yeah.
is a best practice tip. Having said that,
Yeah, definitely.
if you're on a meeting or a program that you're not going to be actively participating in, if you're attending an online event or something like that, I'm okay seeing the pretty, virtual backgrounds. It's not imposing because that person is not speaking. This tip, and really most of what we are going to present, is going to be when you're actively involved and engaged on the, on
Yeah.
webcam, right?
Hmm. Right.
Yeah.
And I think you can make it good. It's hard to do, but I think you can make it good. You have to really be careful having a really bright, solid color that's not a color that you have on, or that a color that's in anything. So I think you can do it and you can make it look okay, but it's difficult.
Yeah. So another thing that we've already brought up, and this is going to be an entire topic of one of our podcast shows, and a lot of what we talk about in the Virtual Presenter Studio with our webcam confidence coaching is the frame, the scene, the lighting. So as a full reveal in this little discussion that we're having, Pam and I both, of course, have circle lights. And we were practicing and asking each other. Even we, the webcam confidence coaches, are very aware of the lighting. What does it look like? And Pam took, she said, does this light really make a difference? So I said, take it away, let me see, and put it back and let me see. And Pam, as a online producer of webinars, meetings, events, programs, courses, etc., I know I've heard this from you, the idea of practice, practice, practice.
Yeah. That's one of the most important things, even just like you said, for you and me, you've done it more than me. You, to me, are a top expert and a leader, and I definitely look up to you for different things. So but even still, for you, like you said, for me, definitely practice is the number one thing that helps me, that has helped me, one of the top things.
I remember when we first started working together, and I have been doing my video for a long time, but when we first started working together and you came up with this crazy, ridiculous, amazing idea of the Virtual Presenter Studio after we had been working together for some time. And I do remember saying that you need to have your own video on your website. And it took you some time, to get to it. So I know you used practice, practice, practice then, right?
Yeah, it took me a long time, a lot of practice, a lot of just pushing myself, because I knew it was important, even from before I had this idea. When I was in the corporate world, also, I took a corporate, public speaking class. So even then, I knew the importance of it and how it can help, and didn't want to, but I pushed myself to do it. And I think that really helps, is understanding the importance of it and getting yourself out there in different things in different ways. And so
Well, for full reveal on practice, 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 I use this with all of my coaching clients. All of my clients know this, and I do this myself. I don't have to do it so much anymore, because, as with everything, practice helps you get better. But I did plenty of Zoom practice sessions with myself. I did. I actually practiced using Facebook Live, because for some reason, I don't know why, I was just okay showing a real authentic kind of presentation on Facebook Live, being like, yeah, I'm doing this. and then I would watch my lives in the early days. But with the videos that I created for various programs or whatever, I just sit and I, practice a little bit on Zoom, and I see how it looks. So that we're going to definitely do a whole episode on practice, practice, practice. I wanted to just go back to the frame and the screen conversation, because this is a real make or break. So again, this is how technical, how detailed I get. This is why we are the webcam confidence coaches, because we also analyze ourselves. We hold ourselves to a high standard. And as you know, Pam, I go live so much that there's a lot of times that I'm like, I'm not able to do all the things that you're supposed to do. And then I watch my videos and I cringe. But one of the things that's happening here, that's very awkward for me, that I don't like, and I have to totally change for our first podcast, is this situation. This is a beautiful screen that you talked about. You can order them and get them. They're not inexpensive. You could create your own kind of screen by using a beautiful wide, shawl or cloth or whatever. But you can see the seam of this screen. It's a folded screen, and it's making me crazy. If I center myself in the picture, which our podcast producer even mentioned to both of us, right, in the pre-production.
I still have to go over a little bit.
And now I've got this thing coming right out of my head, right? And I cannot tolerate that. I cannot stand that, because I do photography and I can't stand that. So I can move myself so I'm a little bit off here. So I'm in between. Okay, that feels a little bit better for me.
That's a little bit better.
Yeah. So now I'm in between. I'm framed. That's kind of weird, but at least I'm in between and I don't have something. This is how technical we are going to get on our podcast, so that you, listener, viewer, can be supremely confident about how you appear, how you're presenting. So that's not something you have to worry about. And really, Pam, that is what underlies everything we're doing in webcam confidence work in the Virtual Presenter Studio, so that this is not the area that is on your mind, but rather your business, your offering, your messaging, your impact, which leads to your legacy.
Well, I think that helps you get your message out better, because if you are more confident, you're going to do it more, you're going to make more videos, you're going to do more virtually. And in addition to that, you're going to reach more people because making more videos or getting out there more. And then people are going to want to watch them more. If your lighting is good, if your sound is good, people are going to watch more, stay with you more. So both of those together, I think is really important to getting your messages out there, which is one of the main goals, I think, for us and for this is, you have this light, people have this light within them. Don't keep it in. People need it. People need your content, your value. And so we just want to help people get that out there.
I'm sorry. This is so amazing. I have chills. And honestly, I am going to have to stop this conversation right now, because this is such juicy stuff. I have notes. I'm taking notes.
Funny
conversation, Pam.
Well, in some of our planning, like you said, that we've done recently, I know for me, like you said, when I had this idea, there were reasons behind this idea, and that I knew it could help people and I could help based on my own experience, but it's been created and it hasn't really gotten out there widely just yet. So in our planning, it's just exciting for me. I just want people in the studio, I want people in the studio. I want people to start coming in, getting out there, getting confident, like you said. I think is just so cool.
I love it. I'm so excited about this. I mean, this topic is so hugely important, because we know video is the future of all communications. And it's so important. Just one tiny thing, and then we have to go. And that is this. And this is going to be one of our topics, Pam. But even just this interview is so juicy. I can't wait to share it with people. This is important, Pam. When you participate in a meeting, even honestly, at this point, if you're just on a call, even a Zoom call that's kind of informal, how you present makes a difference because of what, Pam just said. How you present, it did happen to me recently. I was just, again, maybe I'm tuned in, but I was on a call and the person was like, the phone was everywhere. Like at one point the phone was face up. I was looking at the ceiling. She was talking to me. I'm like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
And so even if you are just participating in a meeting, when I participate in a meeting, and Pam too, when we show up ready to participate to the extent that it's necessary to
Mm,
be
yeah.
formal. If you're in a business setting of any way or shape or form, you want to show up ready to work. And this webcam confidence is going to help you do that. If your
Yeah.
thing is down like this and you're talking and you can't see the eyes, I mean, this happens a lot, right? Or if it's totally
Yeah.
off
It's
center, or if you've got a hairpiece going up like this, that's happened to me plenty of times. I do so many lives and so many videos, it has happened.
yeah.
But these are the things that we want to help bring to your attention. So Pam, I
Yes.
have to end this Zoom interview because these Zoom interviews are intended for the purpose of sharing your wisdom, which I cannot wait to have you continue to share your wisdom in our podcast, and to really just get people interested and excited and enthusiastic about the material so they can look you up and
Yes.
get more. So thank you so much. And
Thank you.
I'll see you in the studio, Pam.
Thank you. See you in the studio. Bye.
Bye-bye.